Hi, everyone, and welcome to February 2025. We are in the global cycle of 9, and this month we are working with the number vibrations of 11 and 2. So 11 represents consciousness transformation. It represents illumination and integration. And so what could that possibly mean for us in relation to the world stage? It means that we could potentially see a lot of things being revealed, coming to light that were behind the scenes that we weren't necessarily aware of. And so that ultimately, anything that's going to be coming up and out potentially is to help to support the facilitation of shifting consciousness of humanity. And that can show up in a lot of different ways. For some, that can create a lot of chaos. For others, it can create a lot of just quick awareness, new awareness around things. And for others, it's just an opportunity to really potentially start to integrate some of this new information, new kind of understanding that we may be having or happening from the collective, and then from our own personal kind of insights and downloads that we might be getting too, because we are working with the 9, and the 9 this year is going to be helping us to see things from our history, our past, personally, as well as on the world collective stage, especially on the world collective stage, because that's, that's the cycle for humanity is that 9. But how it's going to affect us personally is will also give us an opportunity to review things that we even maybe have reviewed in the past, but we're seeing them now from new eyes, from a new lens. And this month that could be highlighted a little bit because we've got that illumination 11 energy running. So that means that we could just start to see things that we didn't see before, where certain trajectories, patterns, beliefs originated, and are they still serving us? And sometimes understanding, oh, this is why I started, and this is when I started to kind of, start this pattern, and therefore I'm having these experiences, or I relate to certain things because of this. And this is an opportunity for us to really start to change that and to really shift that. With two's all about connections and relationships. So it's a great month to foster deeper connection. And that includes with ourself, our soul self, our heart self, and spirit self. And that also includes, our relationships in general. And so the 11 is giving us an opportunity to shift our consciousness around things, and 2 saying, how do we want to relate? How do I want to relate to, my relationships? How do I want to relate to what's going out in the world? How do I want to relate to abundance? How do I want to relate to love? How do I want to relate to, fill in the blank, whatever our personal themes potentially will be showing up for us this month. That's going to be an invitation, an opportunity for us, to approach it that way or in a new way. And the 2 is there's a bridge that 2 creates, meaning there's fear and there's love, and trust is the center. Trust is kind of like, I have to trust sometimes that I don't always know everything, or I don't always know what's next, but trusting in love, or coming back into the alignment of love, or trusting in there is a divine timing and order. And this month that could really play out for us, because the 2's asking, am I fostering fear, or am I fostering things and giving energy to things that are life-taking, or are they life-giving? And am I giving more energy to peace and harmony? 2 wants peace and harmony. And if it's in its shadow expression, it's creating conflict. It's the same with the 11. So this is a month to be super mindful of what we're cultivating, what we're giving energy to, what we're talking about, what we're allowing to come in relation to that. Is this creating conflict and chaos? Or is this actually an opportunity for me to see something differently and to really slow down? 2 is asking us to slow down this month so that we can start to see things, see details that we otherwise wouldn't have seen, to help us to become more connected, more trusting, and discerning through our own resonance, inner resonance, and discerning, is this fear, or is this a warning for me that this isn't for me, or this is kind of like, time to kind of pivot into a different direction. Oftentimes, especially with this 11 energy and with the 9 throughout this year going to be revealing things, there potentially might not be all the pieces of the puzzle clear to us until we're on the other side of this year, maybe even 2026 too. So invitation for us is to keep that in mind, having a clear alignment to our own personal compass. What is really feeling of resonance to me, and what do I need for myself to stay in my own center, to stay in my own heart, to stay in my own energy field. And as additionally, how can I keep an open mind, and how can I keep a flexible mind as things start to come up? Sometimes some months that could feel very, again, overwhelming, or just could be like a lot of information's coming at us. And that could, again, create a lot of different things for us, depending on where we're at in our consciousness, what beliefs are potentially being kind of rattled, and, what do we want to do with this energy, most importantly. One of the most powerful, I feel one of the most powerful things that we can do navigating through these next couple of years, this year especially, is really just coming back to, if something doesn't feel good, process the emotions. This is a great month to process our emotions as well. And then once we're clear of those emotions that are a little bit stickier, heavy, or hard for us to kind of like get clear with or get into our heart, once they're cleared out, coming back into our heart and then asking, what is this helping me to see that I really want to start giving energy to and contributing to through my own frequency and the own contribution of my own energy and intention for myself, for the planet. So that could be, I'm really clear that I just really want more gentleness, or I really want more loving kindness, or I really want to just show up with compassion, or I just want to start to just be curious, and so I can be neutral at my minimum. And then how can I start to, kind of get clear from there? Clarity ultimately is empowerment for us. And in order to get clear, we often need to start to get calm and get still. And both the 9 energy and the 2 energy are going to be asking us to do that. It's going to be, both of them are guiding us and inviting us to start to get really calm and still, so that we can then, from that piece, start to have new clarity coming through, crystal clarity that we can come through, and really being in the flow. There's going to be a lot of different potential timelines we have access to. Where do we want to get into alignment with? And again, from that clarity, from that peacefulness, that's going to be much easier for us to be in the flow. When we're in the flow, we're much more relaxed, and we're much more creative. And ultimately, that's our superpower. We are consciously creating what is next. And it's an invitation for us is never lose sight of that. Coming back into our present moment, grounding ourselves, coming into our heart, breathing, and then really starting to remember, okay, whatever I'm grounding in this present moment right now, whatever I'm giving energy to and I am in alignment with, I am feeling that's, contribution to creating the future and to what is next. So this month is asking us to potentially slow down and get calm, so that we can start to go within and have that discernment, and birth that clarity. This is a great month to dance. So if you're feeling like you need to move energy, or you just, kind of like you want to move energy, or you just need to shift something, great month just to move that energy through dancing. And that could be just, go out dancing, or it could be close the doors, be in your own private rooms, and, just have fun. Just let the rhythm just kind of really move through you. And because that's the invitation. Invitation is ultimately, when we're in the flow, the 9 is asking us to surrender, but we're not surrendering blindly. We're surrendering ultimately to love. What does that mean, right? That can sound and feel so abstract, but there's a divine intelligence that flows through all of life. And what we're learning to do is recognize and actually cultivate an actual relationship with that energy, with whatever that means for us individually. For some, that's in nature. For some, it could be, on the water on a boat. For somebody else, it could be on the golf course. For somebody else, it is, just cooking. For somebody else, it's meditating. And many names: source, spirit, God, goddess, all that is, it doesn't matter what we call it. It's our own personal experience with it. And that's what this 9 energy this year is really going to be inviting us and cultivating us to. In this month, that potentially could show up a little bit more too, because we have an opportunity to have that connection. So ultimately, when we're in the flow, we're surrendering to that flow. What that means, quickly means is that there's a divine intelligence that flows through all of life, and we are allowing that divine intelligence to flow through us consciously with agreement that it's flowing through us. And then we are an instrument of that. And from that flow, we get into the flow of that energy. So what that helps us do is that's the surrender in a sense. So when we're in that flow, we're not resisting. We don't feel the stress. We don't feel the fear. We don't feel the tension. We're starting to learn how to do this while there's potentially a lot of things playing out around us that we won't feel necessarily clear about at first, understand maybe even at first, and definitely might not feel like we have any control or any say in things. So the invitation for us is to cultivate going within and really starting to feel that connection. And that could be just, again, every day for a couple minutes, placing our hands on our heart and just coming back into our heart space, coming back into our breath. The two energy is really inviting us to just really deepen that connection so that we can trust our own discerning resonance, but we have to get calm enough and still enough potentially to hear that. So that's the invitation this month, if that resonates. Don't forget this year, the 9-2, a great way to move energy this year, all year, is to clear out. So purge, clear, organize, clean out energy. Everything is energy, and everything has energy attached to it or connected with it. So for example, if you have old clothes and they don't fit you, and every time you go to try them on, you're upset, you're angry, or you feel frustrated, as an example, well, that's energy. Do you want to have that energy? Do you want to release those clothes and just give yourself a clean slate so that you can cultivate what you want to feel? And then, kind of that's cleaning out energy. It could be objects. So it's not just clothes. It could be even clothes that you love and you feel like that's not me anymore. It doesn't resonate with who I am now, but I'm holding on to them. Why? Why are we holding on to them? It's energy. And that energy potentially with the 9 gives us a beautiful opportunity is when we clean out energy through that way, that just brings so much space. And then we get to, choose how we want to, or what we want to bring that space in with, what we want to fill that with. So that could be love. It could be creativity. It could be joy. It could be passion. It could be kindness. It could be success, whatever we want. So that's the invitation this month. And invitation for us all is to relax and be in our hearts, be in the flow, and to, just don't forget that we are conscious creators creating the new earth and creating what's next. And we are in the era of frequency now. So we're doing that through our intention and most importantly, through our alignment. So wishing all of us to have a really fun, creative, joyful, maybe dance-filled month, and enjoy. Many bright blessings to all of you. Namaste.